Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we have a super special unboxing because today we're going to have a lot of fun with Fulgrim, Daemon Primarch of Slaanesh. I knew that I was going to get Fulgrim at some point, but I didn't expect to get him so early, and I got him thanks to my wife because this is a present from her for our anniversary. So yes, I have to thank her, and actually last year she got me Angron and this year Fulgrim, so definitely she's one of the biggest supporters of the channel. And now, as usual, we're going to open this box, we're going to check the instructions, we're going to check all the bits, we're going to assemble Fulgrim. I would like to share my first impressions about him, and then we're going to compare him with other Primarchs and miniatures. Okay, here we have a closer look of the box. Fulgrim, Daemon Primarch of Slaanesh from the Emperor's Children, and obviously we have here one Citadel miniature, but what a miniature! At the back of the box, as always, we have a scale 1:1 of this miniature, and I mean, it's huge. Aside from that, we have the classic images showing the miniature more on detail, because of course, from this perspective, we cannot see everything. There's like a lot of things going on here, so we can see the back of the tail. We can see the open wound on the front that we cannot see here nicely, and we have Fulgrim from the back and from the side. And obviously we have the different variants. We have 5 different choices that we can choose for the head. Anyway, enough of the box, let's open this and start the unboxing. Nice, here we have the instructions, we have all the bits, and then we have a 130mm base. I'm honestly shocked about the size of this base because it's huge. But that is not important right now. What matters is what we have here. First, we're going to check the instructions, and then we're going to check every single bit. After that, we're going to assemble Fulgrim. The first thing that we see in the instructions is the tail, which makes all the sense in the world because I guess that it should be like that. We first assemble the base of the miniature and from there we start building up. So yes, all the sense. And I'm happy to see that we have very nice big bits here. So actually, even if Fulgrim looks like a very complicated and complex miniature, for now the instructions feel very simple and straightforward. Like, first we have the base, and after that we just continue adding bits and bits of the tail. And we also have some nice connection points, so that should make the task easier for us. But yeah, for now it looks quite nice and fun to assemble. On the next page, more of the tail. The whole page is dedicated to the tail of Fulgrim, but it's the same process. We have the foundation that we made earlier, and from there we continue adding bits and bits and bits until we have the whole lower body of Fulgrim assembled, and here we can even see how we are starting adding armor to it. Once the lower body is assembled, we start with the torso, and again it feels much easier than I expected because, I mean, here we have a lot of small bits to assemble the torso by itself, but the arms are, I mean, 2 of the arms are one whole bit, like the whole arm together. That feels quite interesting, and I like that. Here we have a little bit of sub-assemblies, but still it's just a few of them. So basically doing the torso and the arms is just this small part of the instructions. So this is feeling good. Let's not forget that once we have the torso, we have to add the shoulder pads, the neck, and we're also going to add the cape to it. But after that, we're going to have a whole new part of Fulgrim assembled. Then we have the wings that I'm shocked, like I'm honestly shocked because the whole wing is just a single bit. So each wing is one bit, so this is quite simple to do. The whole process of assembling the wings of Fulgrim, it's just 4 bits. More than a space marine, so I'm very shocked about that. It's a happy surprise, to be honest. I like these kind of things because, as I said, I thought that this was going to be like a very complicated miniature, but no, actually it feels quite easy and straightforward. And we finish with the head. We have 4 different bits for the head, and then we are going to choose the head that we want for him. So like this we can add a little bit more of personality to our miniature because we have the helmet or heads that have some expressions. I like this one a lot, but I think that I will go for the helmet. I think that helmet is super cool not to be used. Until now, we assembled 4 different parts of Fulgrim, and at this stage we just need to put them together. So this miniature is perfect to do sub-assemblies because we can paint each of these parts individually and then glue them together. That's going to make him much more easier to paint as well. So yes, at this point we just have the lower part of the body, we attach the torso, and then here we can see how we add the wings to him. And we just finished by attaching the head and the last bit. And basically this is it, these are the instructions. Here we have Fulgrim fully assembled, and we have a nice gallery of images here with all the different heads that we can choose for him, and again, a beautifully painted Fulgrim that we can always use as a reference. Okay, here we have the first sprue, and as you can see, the first thing that we see are those huge wings. But the first thing that I want to say is that you can see it here at the moment of making this video. This is a super new miniature. As expected from Games Workshop, the quality and the detail is excellent. We can see a super nice looking wing here with a lot of detail. The same with the tail, this scales looks fantastic and I like a lot what I'm seeing here. The backpack looks great, and we have the first horn of Fulgrim, the cape. There's like a lot of things going on here. On the other side of this sprue, we have some huge bits. We have the other wing, we have the final part of the tail that you can see here, and we have the open wound on the front. We are looking at the other sprue right now, and here we have much more smaller bits, but still some big ones, because for example we can see here a big part of the tail still, because I mean the tail is a big part of the miniature, so it makes sense. And here we have some nice interesting bits, like for example this super cool looking shoulder pad, or we have the heads of Fulgrim. That I will better show like this because it's going to be much better, of course. So yes, here we have the 4 of them without the helmet, and the helmet should here it's the helmet. I like this helmet a lot, I want to repeat that. And this is something that we saw when we were checking the instructions. The hand with the whip, it's just one big bit. It's the same with this sword. So that's very fun. That's going to make much easier to assemble this miniature. On the other part of the sprue, we have the last parts of the tail. Again, I love those scales. I'm a little bit sad that he's not fully covered on scales, but still it looks good. We have here the hand without the weapon, and we have the armor that is covering the tail part of Fulgrim. We have some nice details that we can see here, and the remaining weapon. I'm not going to talk about this bit. And here we have like the chest part of the armor that I like how it looks. The amount of detail again is excellent. We check the instructions, we check the plastic. It is time to start assembling Fulgrim. And here we have the final result. Here we have Fulgrim, Daemon Primarch of Slaanesh. When we were checking the instructions, we saw that it was possible to first assemble the lower part of the body, then torso, wings and head separately, and then just glue everything together once it's painted. I don't know, I felt like there's like a lot of space there, like he has like a very open pose, and I'm like, okay, I can get my brush everywhere, so I decided just to assemble the whole miniature together. I do not regret, it's going to be fun. I have painted worse things assembled, so yes, this is going to be like a very fun project to paint. Our only choice while assembling this miniature is to choose the head, and even if I'm confident about painting his head, I was like, I don't like them. I honestly don't like them that much. So for sure at the end I will regret if I don't choose to go for the helmet. And it's a very cool helmet and he looks very nice with it. What I dislike the most about this miniature is the base. It's huge, 130mm base, and I don't know, I don't like that the bases are getting that big. I would have been so happy if every Chaos Primarch would have like a 100mm base like Mortarion, Angron and Magnus. But no, Fulgrim is special, and I get that thanks to this base we have like this super cool pose. But I don't know, it's my only complaint, I don't like a base that big. Aside from that, of course, the pose is super cool, as you can see, he looks very nice. He's much more bended than I expected. I thought that he was like standing more straight, but no, he's like going forward a lot. And I mean, it looks okay, it doesn't look bad, and it fits a lot, and thanks to that it's much easier to have like the wings there, because they are heavy and they are just connected by that part of the back. So I'm not going to complain about the pose. I think that he looks super cool and scary. I don't know, this is not the kind of thing that I would like to find in the universe of Warhammer 40k. It's like, no, I don't want to see Fulgrim with my own eyes. That's not going to be fun. But yes, he looks very cool. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing here. As expected, the amount of detail is excellent, and my first complaints when I saw this miniature are completely gone. Like, I didn't like this open wound here, but now I look at it and it's like, okay, I can get that we need something very eye-catching here, because if not, this area will be like super boring, I guess, unless we have more armor. But then it will be more armor. Here we have something like more unique, so okay, it's cool, I'm not going to complain. I also thought that I would like more to have like the full tail covered with scales, but now that I look at the tail, it's like, this looks good. I like what I'm seeing here. We have like a nice combination of scales, this regular skin, more like, I don't know, smooth, and then we have also all these like talons and spikes or spines, I don't even know how to call them. So yes, it's like a lot of things going on there that makes it a little bit more interesting. It's not just scales, and thanks to that it's going to be easier to apply different colors there. The wings look very nice as well. All these talons are super cool, and I like that they're so big, and also like this part here, it's also like super nice. I don't know, I like how it looks, especially when we look at it from the side. It's like, I don't know, menacing is the word. And aside from that, the weapons are nice, the pose is cool, I like the swords, and I also like that whip. But especially, I don't know why, I like this hand a lot. It's going to be super difficult for me to record how I paint this miniature, because as you can see, he's huge and I have like a lot of trouble to actually put him on camera. But it will be okay. I mean, it's going to be worth it, and I like a lot what I'm seeing here. I mean, he looks fantastic, he looks great, and I don't know, he looks like a super cool project. I'm not thinking about starting an Emperor's Children army. Maybe if these videos go well, I will try to get some noise marines and something cool. But for now, I'm looking forward to paint Fulgrim. And to show how big this miniature is, I would like to do some size comparisons. And we're going to start by comparing Fulgrim with a regular Space Marine Intercessor, and you cannot see it right now because it's like there. It fits completely in between the tail of Fulgrim, so you can clearly see how massive he is. And here you can see Fulgrim next to his brother Robot Guilliman, and I feel a bigger respect for Guilliman right now, because for him to decide to fight against Fulgrim with Fulgrim looking like this or similar, I don't know, I feel a huge respect for Guilliman. Obviously, I had to put Angron next to Fulgrim because this is the other Daemon Primarch that I have. And I have to say that even if here it looks like Fulgrim is like 2 times bigger than Angron, No, Angron is in size, he's bigger, because you can clearly see, for example, the hand of Angron is like, I don't know, 4-5 times bigger than the height of Fulgrim. So yes, the body of Angron is much bigger and more massive and muscular. The same with the wings. We can see that the wings of Angron are like very big compared with the wings of Fulgrim. It's just that Fulgrim has this huge tail that makes him look bigger, but in terms of like size, Angron is much bigger. I'm sure that if we put Angron in the same pose as Fulgrim, he will be like massive in comparison. Like, you can clearly see that Angron is like leaning towards the front like a lot, and if he was like standing straight, he will be like almost the same size as him. But anyway, I just want to go back to say that yes, even if Fulgrim looks like much bigger, it's because of the pose. What matters here is that this is an awesome looking Primarch. It's a super cool miniature full of details. There's like a lot of things going on here, and it's definitely a miniature worth of being part of any collection. Even if we don't play or we don't want to collect Emperor Sealed miniatures, this is an awesome painting project, and it's like a super fun miniature to have if we like Warhammer 40k. And with all of that being said, this is it. This is the end of the video. This is how I assembled Fulgrim, Daemon Primarch of Slaanesh, and as always, I invite you to let me know in the comments what you think about this miniature. If you like what I do and you would like to support my work to help me to continue improving, I invite you to check the link to my Patreon in the description, and as usual, if you are still here, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.